kind of reason why I closed it, so we can have some privacy at the moment.
Right.
Here's sort of this is all gonna be tied up together. Here's the thing. I had a meeting with Rion last night, and I found out that I'm going to be apprenticed to them, and it sounds like they're going to be needing to take me out of school every so often for a couple of days usually. If I can, I'll try to see if we can be scheduled on the weekends, but I get the impression that it's not always going to be the case. So I kind of need to expand my disappearing act around here to a broader reach.
Right. Well, if you're doing a project, you can always tell that to your technology teacher.
Okay, and because of Rion's status, it should work out fine.
It should, yes.
Okay. Um, Now here's the thing. I'm not really up to telling anybody else. I mean, I've told a couple of people, but I really don't want this getting out. But the real reason why I'm sort of like this and not my normal self is because I found out that the head of Rion, or at least I presume it's the head of Rion, it turns out to be my father.
I see that. How I guess being that revelation being sprung on you must have taken a toll. I wouldn't be surprised if some of your brain just automatically shut down because of the potential trauma that could be renewed because of that.
Considering my grades, that's a dangerous proposition. So,
Well, I'm glad to see you still have a sense of humor about things.
yeah. And I just kind of wanted to. I don't. My thing is, everything that I got from him was he's not a father figure. Uh, he seems to basically just want to. He's in for business and he has a plan, and I kind of wanted to just sort of talk to you and sort of set it up that I'm a little bit worried that I might in an effort to get to I don't want to get to know him. I mean he abandoned us, but he may play a card like, oh, I didn't abandon you. I was watching you the entire time, or some BS like that. And I kind of basically wanted to, I don't know, talk with you and basically maybe make sure that I don't do something stupid and fall for a trap of his. Or if maybe he's being genuine, I don't even know what to do if he's trying to be genuine. I just, I don't think I'm really prepared to deal with him in that capacity as my father.
So do you want a business relationship with your father?
Maybe right now that's for the best, but I don't. I'm I'm worried that basically I am going to try to basically either make this personal, or I've screwed up so many times in the past. I've always gone with my instinct and just bugger the consequences. I mean, you've seen how that works. For something like this, though, I'm actually second guessing myself.
Right, right. Well, just as flitted in and out of your life, you can do the exact same thing. I mean, it's up to you. You know, you can control the boundaries. After all, he set them so far apart. It's your choice whether you want to move them closer or drive them further apart. Nobody would fault you for keeping your distance. After all, if you've been hurt once, then it's more of a likely chance you'll be hurt again.
That's true. Should I even? The other thing is, should I talk to my mother about this? I mean, it's just been the two of us for so long. I don't want to tell her that I've met him because, I mean, I don't think she's still carrying a torch for him, but I kind of, I mean, definitely she doesn't know anything about this persona stuff, and I don't think if she gets to know him, I don't think he'll keep her out of it.
Hmm. Well, my personal opinion is that if your father is if your father is going to take those steps, then he should do so himself. He shouldn't give you the burden of responsibility of informing your mother. You have a different relationship to your mother, as he had a different relationship to her as well.
All right, so, all right. I think I understand what you're talking. I think I understand that. Thanks. Yeah, I'm just. I just really am sort of. This is. It was so out of the blue, and I mean, it. So much of what I've been told that he did to me makes sense now that I'm here, but it's just. It is just completely throwing me for a loop. Oh, and I found out I have 2 siblings, apparently, that I know nothing about, and he hasn't told me anything about them yet. Do you think I should maybe try and look for them on my own?
Well, one step at a time. He'll be like, you don't want to overfry, you know? Like, try to figure out what your situation is, and so you feel more in control rather than feeling like you're being tugged or pulled.
Got it. All right. I think thanks, yeah. Kind of funny. Go back to being the idiot wall basher that I was.
Well, you've certainly become more thoughtful. I've noticed that at least.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of had to with all this. And once I figured out the consequences due to what happened a month ago.
You may not need to tell your classmates the personal details, but I'm sure you can frame it in a way that they'll be able to support you without prying too far.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of made the joke. I'm in with this, but it's a deal with the devil, and it very well could be. All right. Thank you. You actually are helping on this. It's so outside of what I normally am. I just didn't know how to process all this.
Right. Give it some time to sink in and come in with like of a set of questions you wish to ask him, and you can. I'm sure you can judge by his responses how to approach him.
Right. Thank you. I'll start making up a list of questions. All right. Thank you.
No problem.
I figured that. I mean, I don't want to go wholly into it, but I figured that took a little bit longer than just the 5 minutes that it took us.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it was pretty much it was a a shrink session. So.
Yeah, Sugihara actually gave good advice.
Yep.
Woo! Alright. Now we can go to
Last of the R's.
Ryo?
Yeah. Well, I guess just to further delay this, I do send a message to Katsumi if I could either if I could talk to her at the end of class at the end of lunch if there's any time, or if not, I suggest a little bit after school.
Alright. She'll reply to your text message when she gets it in real time.
Got it.
We'll see how the conversation with Ryu goes first.
Okay.
Oh, this is going to be so much fun.
Sorry, man.
Oh, no. Believe me, it's not going to have anything to do with you.
Oh, boy. Alright. So I guess you'll see Katsumi, like, leaving her classroom, when you go outside of yours.
All right. He will kind of come up close to her and say, "How's it going?"
Ryu, well, things have been challenging lately.
Yes. I think I've heard about a part of that, at least. I was curious if you wanted to have lunch and talk about it.
You've heard of a part of it? Well,
Yes.
I won't turn you down. Let's just go then.
All right. I figured they'll probably go somewhat quiet, like the garden or something like that.
All right. So she'll sit down with with her hands in her lap. She'll be like, "So, what is it?"
Well, I was more wondering if you wanted to get something off your chest. From what I understand, there's something of a shakeup at the temple, or at least possibility of it.
Mm? Mm. Mm. What do you mean?
Well, I suppose going around the edges is not to be quite blunt. I understand Akira let secrets loose that she was not supposed to.
Did she tell you that herself?
Akira, no.
I see.
Let's just say I ran into the results of what you guys talked about.
Right. And she'll just look at her. She'll just look at the ground for a moment. Well, there isn't really much to say since, nothing has been done about it.
Yeah, that's good. I don't know what your plans are at the moment, but personally I feel for both you and Shizuka, it'd be best if it remains that way.
Right. You. I suppose that isn't a uncommon opinion.
Probably not, but I am curious, what would happen if you did tell them?
Well, I imagine a proposition would be given, and if it was rejected, well, you can't exactly force people to do things. Even if you try, after all, the greatest results come from compliance.
I would have to disagree with that. The greatest results do not come from compliance. The greatest results come from those who desire to comply.
Right. I suppose I skipped a word or two. Is that what you wanted to tell me?
No, but I got the feeling that that this affected more than just Shizuka. There were also effects on you.
Well, when you find out information about about people who are close to you from an outside source, it does sting a little.
Yes, I have noticed it, but I suppose in this particular situation, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I do not mean to be rude about this, but I have noticed both you and Shizuka have taken a very wide berth of each other.
There are some things which will require quite the journey to amend. She'll just say diplomatically.
Yes, I agree. I suppose we should probably leave it at that, but I'm curious, is there anything else? Have you noticed anything else strange going on lately?
Strange. There's always something strange going on, especially at this campus.
I suppose that's probably quite true, but tell me, how much do you know of exactly of how the demon is affecting those around us?
I'm not sure. I read the notations after your meeting. So the club was running late. If that's what you're asking about.
To some extent, yes. I figure chances are with things are going on, there might be some clues in the fact that when people get nervous or affected by these sort of things, they tend to go to spiritual leaders.
Well, we do have our foot flow within the temple, and as it says in the notes, Reiko has her own club going on as well. There are efforts into soothing people's fears.
That's good. Though there's a question that brings up, have you noticed any of the effects?
She'll just take a deep breath and she'll be like, well, it is happening to women and girls. Then, well, it was naturally that we all feel the effects, however small or great.
I suppose. And I apologize if that question came off as a little blunt or offensive in that sort of aspect, considering it seems to target a specific subset.
Right. Well, it's a topic that wars are made from.
I suppose. I'm just also curious if you're finally willing to, well, maybe if you have some time for us to actually go and get to know each other better, maybe to an extent.
What brings this up?
I suppose it's a realization that I really don't know much about you other than what you kind of present. I know that you are dedicated to your temple. I know that you are a skilled swordswoman. And I know that you are very passionate about what you believe, but beyond that, I really don't know much about you.
Well, I guess it's a very big part of my life.
Yes, but just because it's a big part doesn't mean it's all of it.
It's not all of it, no, but it very much consumes a great majority of it.
Yes, I can't say I haven't gotten that image, but I also have noticed that, at least, again, not to be too insulting about it, that the weight on your shoulders with all of this have been rather large. But and I'm wondering if maybe you will open up a little bit to me about that.
Right. She'll just kind of shuffle in place, and she'll be like, "It's not that easy for me."
I didn't think it was going to be easy. Much in the same way, I have trouble opening up to people as well.
Well, it's I suppose spending more time together casually wouldn't hurt. Maybe I should put it in a way that's less dismissive.
I got exactly what you meant from that. After all, I'm not exactly the best with words either.
Perhaps I I mean, you seem to be you seem to keep things simply stated. That isn't necessarily a flaw. Keeping things to mean exactly what they mean is when you cut out all of the unnecessary, it does its job well.
Yes, but so many people prefer the unnecessary. Suppose they consider it part of the whole society thing. I just find too many people obfuscate what they mean in those extra words.
Right. Well, there are certainly things that well, I'm afraid that I pretty much come across as I am. Most of my interests and hobbies relate to my family and trying to understand that better, or becoming a person who will be, well, a prospect when it comes to it.
So, yes. Sorry, phone.
Ryu, turn off your phone. You're so rude.
Sorry about that.
No, that's obviously the text.
Would make sense. Yes, I figured sometime that you're free, going out and, well, maybe for a chance, you to lighten the load on your shoulders and just relax.
Well, the more time I spend outside of the temple, the better at this point. Too many expectations set by myself.
Yes, definitely seems like that would be a good idea. Tell me, when you next free?
Well, I've been relieved of most of my duties, considering the developments of things, so I'm not as busy as I once was.
Alright then. How about I show you around Tokyo Saturday?
She'll say, I do have a prior engagement on Saturday. I said I would meet for lunch with my cousin.
Ah, well then. Alright, then how about Sunday then?
Sunday should be good. If it's in the afternoon, of course. I still like to be around for morning ceremony.
It shouldn't be too much of a problem. I can show you around a few interesting areas, and I can actually get a chance to show you what my style of kendo looks like when it's not being mangled by me.
Well, it's always interesting to look at how the styles have developed and where it developed from. I suppose your reckless style does have some control to it, even though it doesn't look like it at times.
Yes, well, I would like to say that you would actually see the style it is, but truth of the matter is I mangle the style that my teachers try and do. Once you actually watch one of them work, you'd find, I'm afraid I might seem woefully inadequate in that particular regards.
Well, compared to the one who taught me, I am as equally as inadequate.
Well then, maybe it will be a great experience for both of us.
Right. At the end of the day, even if my senses fail me, I always have. She'll be like, I would say my body, but that was quite the thing. That was. Oh, is that text? And she'll check her phone.
Oh, yes. One last thing, I suppose I should get out of the way. Rio wanted me to ask you a favor.
A favor? Hmm.
Yes, apparently he's got interested in the checking to see if we have one heir of the, or at least have some of the old blood in us.
Well, I can excuse the faux pas for now, but if he has an interest in it, shouldn't he ask me himself?
One would think that would be the best way, but Rio is overly pragmatic, and I believe the idea about this is the best tool for the situation. And I wouldn't exactly say I'm being subtle about my intentions.
Well, as I told Raphael, there were always things that you need to showcase before we do it. It is a task that takes much concentration. I can't do it myself, of course, which is why it will fall down to a senior member of the family.
Well, yes. I think his viewpoint is if we have such a good advocate as, say, as you on our side, then it might make things move smoother.
Well, I will certainly petition for you, but I would like to be met by Rio himself.
I shall pass that message on to him. I am sure he will make time to come and meet you.
All right. And she'll check the text message, and she'll be like, I suppose we should get back to classes then. If you're worried about Shizuka, then you shouldn't worry for at least a while longer. I've decided to keep my silence, for better or for worse. And she'll start to get up.
I figure at that point Ryu will actually will go over to see about helping her up. Just offering his hand sort of thing.
Alright, she'll take it.
Say, thank you, my lady. As I've said before, you are as generous as you are. You are as pretty as you are generous.
She'll just kind of look surprised, and she'll be like, well, in this case, it's more of a case of fear rather than generosity, but I'll take the compliment.
I am very grateful for that. And I will state that if I know you often, you have to deal with others' burdens. If you ever need someone to help you lift the burdens off your shoulders, I am always here for you.
Thank you. I'll take that into consideration. There. I will think about that.
Well then, I suppose we should be off to class then.
Yes, we should. All right. Classy, clue, the classy, clue. And then class is over.
I figure before classes really start and Ryu notices Ryo, he's going to just inform him about the Kitsumi's request.
I see. Well, I suppose that should be expected. Still, it was a thing offered to us of 1A and not anyone in specific. And besides, I seldom have time or reason to talk to her. I'll make some now, though.
That's good. I don't think she would be as good an advocate if she did not at least get the request from the person requesting it.
Right.
Does he wave off Wrath then?
Does who wave off Wrath?
Rio basically was asking Raph to go deliver the message as well. he just basically heard, no, you got to deliver it yourself. So does he tell Raph, don't bother?
Yeah, he basically would. You were just insurance.
How does it feel to be the second fiddle?
Whoever got to her first, the other person was insurance.
Yeah, actually, we're in 1A, so I do say, we've been having a lot of weird stuff going on. Anybody? I was thinking about basically maybe orchestrating another Sunday outing. Anybody
Is
interested?
Akira in school now, or is he still fucking about?
I doubt it.
Right?
He died.
Might be muted. Probably not muted, Ben.
Nope. Coco killed him.
Well, when you talk about things Saturday, Ryu will mention that he has previous engagements.
Got it.
I'm trying to keep my schedule clear in case anything actually comes up I need to deal with.
Alright.
You seem a bit jittery, Rio. Is that because Chiba hasn't been around?
What?
Oh, come on. What did...
After all, there's just so much to do. We have to deal with the Kudlak thing. There are other things going on in the school. This blood test thing has my interest for some reason. And, of course, there's always the work I have to be ready for to do tomorrow.
True, but you normally handle that with such grace. Now you seem a little at odds.
So, and Kara will say, so you've made progress on Kudlak?
Oh.
Oh, yeah,
We know- do we-
He wouldn't have said Kudlak. He would have said the demon.
No, I think it works better if you said Kudlak.
Yes.
We can't take it back now.
Come on, Chris hasn't been to the last 3 games. I forgot he was here.
I forgot about Kitsumi and he still did it.
Yeah, but I just caught this right now. Fine.
And Kara will say, so you found more information about Kudlak?
Yes, of course.
Uh,
We know more about his lore now and the way he operates. That may be enough to determine if this demon is him or not.
so you believe that the one that's causing this sickness in girls might be Kudlak? Do you have any idea?
Oh, go on.
She comments, do you have any idea where he might be?
Not a clue. After all, I said at the moment that, hey man, Kyra's taking it well. And, it's the last day. Besides, at the moment, we're only trying to figure out which demon it is. We only have the suspicion, but it might be that particular vampire.